Well, Jim, on the heels of the news that R-Truth was leaving WWE, came another tweet. I'll read this to you. This was sent out by Carlito. My contract is up in 2 weeks. It will not be renewed. On top of that, WWE is demanding I pay back the money they paid me for apparently, quote, stealing money from the company. I've had my lawyers look into it, and after reviewing my footage on Netflix for the past months, they suggested I pay them back the money. All jokes aside, gracias WWE, and especially the WWE Universe. Los quiero mucho. P.S. I'll appear again in another 13 years. Dios me los bendiga. So Carlito,
I'm not sure what some of those things mean.
They say he says here that he has been released. His contract's up in 2 weeks. It won't be renewed. He wasn't on Raw the next day, so I guess maybe the 2 weeks went into effect early.
Yeah. Well, because then here's the thing: once they've told a guy he's released, he generally won't be on television again, even if the contract is up in 2 weeks or whatever. Because in the past, a time or two, somebody has, suddenly become injured and they had to pay more money, But with Carlito, and by the great sense of humor from Carlito, take off on an old Ernie Ladd fucking line. He's had a nice, 2-year run since he came back on the Puerto Rico pay-per-view, and he looked in better shape than half the guys on the roster. And they signed him and had him do the thing in the Judgment Day. They've never pushed him like a fearsome singles competitor on his own, but he was a valuable member of the cog in the wheel of the group and the Judgment Day. And, he's looked good. And when he's had to work, he's, as we've mentioned a couple times, done better than most of the fucking guys that have been on the roster for a while, but are much younger. But he's almost 52. So I don't mean 52, the number, but almost 50 also, I think. So it's not really a surprise. And I don't know that he expected, because he's taking it with such good humor. I don't think he thought it was going to be a longer term thing. He was probably like, what? You're going to bring me back, when he heard about it?
He's actually 46. He's my age.
See, they're almost 50. It's all downhill from here.
I have to say, I didn't expect much, but I enjoyed him in the Judgment Day. He actually is a character who really didn't do anything. They barely gave him anything to do. He was one of the more enjoyable parts of the Judgment Day segments.
Yes.
I really have to say. So, I'm not surprised, but I did enjoy him on this run. I guess I'm a little surprised that they decided, because they're still doing all this stuff with Judgment Day, to just drop Carlito, but I guess that's what they've done.
What is the current local wrestling scene like in Puerto Rico? Because they had the hurricane and then the pandemic and the blah, blah, blah is, he's obviously in the royal family down there, but do they have a company there these days? Does he have options to go home and work if he wants?
I'm sure there's something. I just don't know if they actually draw or make money right now at this point in 2025. I know we have some listeners down there, though, so anyone who is actively going to shows in Puerto Rico and knows what's up, get in touch with us. Let us know.
Yeah. What is going on? And is it because you never hear anything anymore about guys? Oh, so-and-so's in Puerto Rico. Well, you don't hear that anymore.
Well, Carlito, Caribbean Cool, leaving the Judgment Day. I, for one, will miss him on this show. I enjoyed this run. One last one here, Jim. Valhalla has announced she has left WWE.
Well, I didn't know she was still there.
Valhalla was coming. Now I guess she's going.
Yeah, Valhalla is coming. Valhalla is here. Valhalla is gone.
Well, that's the roster update, Jim. And of course, when it comes to rosters of recording artists that the record labels have, when it comes to podcast rosters, it really doesn't matter who's on the roster. You have to figure out how you're going to hear it. How are you going to listen to all this great sound? The way go, please help, save,
please
tag,
because hot tag. Because that is an age-old question, Brian. If a podcast plays in the middle of the forest, but you can't hear it, was it still any good? You've heard that question asked a million times, haven't you?
I don't know about a million, but maybe a few thousand.
Maybe a few thousand. Or if you're out in the woods with Mercedes Moon and you can't find your way out, how are you going to hear anything? Because all you can hear is those goddamn birds chirping. Folks, if you go out in the woods, or even if you stay home and bury your head in the sand, Raycon's everyday earbuds are the perfect summer accessory. Let's say you're going hard at the gym. Let's not, on second thought. That sounds strenuous. Let's say you're enjoying the sun. Well, actually, that can lead to skin problems. Let's say you're taking those work calls outside. Why would you want to take a work call outside where people could just overhear or eavesdrop on you? How about jamming out while barbecuing to your favorite tunes? Now, there's something we want to do. Well, you can enjoy premium audio, folks, right wherever you go in front of that barbecue. Don't lean over too closely because the earbuds will melt along with your brain. But the Raycon Everyday Earbuds, whether you want to listen to a podcast or music or even take phone calls, you got them covered with the Raycon quick charge function. You plug it in for 10 minutes and you get 90 minutes of battery. And they've got the active noise cancellation, so that way you can't hear your significant other browbeating you at that barbecue because you're not doing the meat the right way. Because you're a meat master. You know you are. And Raycon started just half the price the other premium. I'm talking to the meat masters out there that are going to be standing over that barbecue this summer with the Raycon Everyday Earbuds in their ears. They're going to be grilling the meat. And they're going to be listening to the tunes, and they're going to be hopping and bopping and jamming out. And now when you're jamming out, if you've got a fork in your hand, don't jam out too. You'll poke your eye out with that thing. And the Raycon Everyday, that's who I'm talking to, those people, Brian.
They're running around with utensils and...
running around with poking people's eyes out with forks and barbecues.
Don't stick anything anywhere, but put those Raycon earbuds in your ear and listen to the fine sounds that you can be hearing from your favorite songs, your favorite artists, your favorite podcasts. Jim, we have a great spirit going. Let's keep it up.
Yes. You know, sometimes you don't just want to stand there out in the backyard and listen to the traffic or listen to the baby crying or the dog next door howling. You want to block all that out. That's why you stick the Raycons in your ears instead of the fork in your eye. Because a Raycon in your ear is better than a poke in the eye with a sharp fork, folks. That's actually their new catchphrase for the 2025 campaign.
Nope.
And if you're not loving your Raycons for any reason, they offer a 30-day happiness guarantee return policy, no questions asked, just no barbecue sauce on the Raycons if you return them. Then they won't be happy and they won't make you happy. But right now, a little bit of salt and pepper, you know, is a residual, some dry rub, that may happen, but no sauce. Go to BuyRaycon, BuyRaycon, BuyRaycon.com/JCE right now, this very second, and you're going to get 15% off their best-selling everyday earbuds, 15% off. BuyRaycon.com/JCE. These things are already cheaper than the big name brands with the same premium audio quality, but now you get 15% off of that.
That's right. It's a great deal. It's a great earbud for great sounds.
Sauceless.
That's right. Jim, one more time. You've thrown me off, but let's get to the sauce. Let's get away from the sauce and get to the meat of the matter. Raycon.
Yes.
Jim.
Yes.
What's that promo code?
BuyRaycon.com/JCE. Sauce not allowed.